Hello and welcome to the Clever Fox YouTube channel. My name is Ilysse and today we are doing some really fun but functional planning. I have two Clever Fox products here. I have my Clever Fox dotted journal and a brand new Clever Fox sticky note set. And I'm going to show you how to plan out your week using a dotted journal and using sticky notes. Make sure that you watch this whole video so you don't miss any of the planning tips and tricks that we are sharing today, and that you are subscribed to our channel with that notification bell turned on so that you get notified each time we share a new video. Let's dive right into these. Okay, so I have my dotted journal and I have my sticky note set. This is a little bit of an overview of everything that the sticky note set includes. So you have tabs in different sizes. We have smaller sticky notes, the tiny little header sticky notes, and then a larger rectangle one. And I love that it comes in this little booklet so that you don't lose track of anything. So we are going to open this right up and we are going to kind of separate out our week. So on the left side here, I'm going to map out my week. So I have a ruler here and we want to make sure that we have room for 7 days. So I'm going to shift the ruler down here to 7 inches and make a little mark at each of the inch points. Now, of course, there's already dots in this, which makes it very convenient and helpful to be able to do the markers once you kind of measure it all out. So then when we count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now I'm going to use my ruler to go across here where I made these dots. And this will help map out each of the days of the week. Another way that you can do this, because you know I like to give you options as I'm planning, is to be, if you don't need all of the space for the weekend, like maybe you just want one larger box that'll cover the whole weekend, or you could do 2 square style boxes side by side for the weekend. What's amazing about using a bullet journal is that you really have the opportunity to customize every single week. You can try one layout one week, and if it doesn't really work for you, you sort of figure out what didn't work and what you may prefer for the next week moving forward. And there's so much inspiration to be able to work from for these. Now, I went a little bit over on some of these lines, so I'm going to close these boxes off and then I'll show you how I'm going to clean that up a little bit. Because when it comes to using rulers, even when I'm measuring, I'm not always perfect. I'm rarely perfect with these types of things. So I have learned some tricks along the way to help clean things up a little bit. So now that this has dried, I'm using a different pen than I normally share. I'm using a Zebra Sarasa Dry because I find that it dries faster. And so when you're using a ruler and you're kind of going over the pen, a pen that dries really quickly is going to help reduce smudge marks. So now I also have a Micron white pen where I'm just gonna kind of go in and clean up just a touch. So now we want to create my week of section. So I feel like we can bring some color into this, right? So let's do, with a highlighter, week of, and then I'm going to even add one step further to that and do a little bit of cursive over these. Week of, and this is the week of August 19th through 25th. Okay, so now we have my boxes out for each day of the week. And because we already wrote the dates in here, it's going to make it a little bit cleaner because we don't have to use up that much space to create our weekday headings. So one of the things that I'd like to do is use my highlighter, and we're going to do this in the neatest way possible for me. This definitely does involve some being a little bit more cautious, but I do like brush pens. This is a Zebra mild liner brush pen, and I like these because you can get a nice thick line like this, and then just like a little bit to clean up here. Okay, and now we will go in with the days of the week. So MTW. When I was in college, they had Thursday as our as not to mistake it for Tuesday, and that's just always kind of what I've done. And then we'll still do an S for each of Saturday and Sunday. You can also put the dates in here if you'd like to. Okay, now we are going to pause on the left side of the page because I want to talk about the right side and how I'd like to incorporate the sticky notes. So I first want to split this page in half. Got some pen on my hand from this. So to split this page in half, we want about 4 inches down, and then width-wise, we need here, the page is 5.5 inches, so I need 2 3/4. So we're gonna go, I think it was about here. Now, this is where the sticky notes are really going to come in handy. So I'm first going to make a little heading over here, and we're going to call this heading to do. This is a great way to do some pre-planning at the beginning of the week. So if you start to think of all of the different things that you have to do in the week, you can add them here, especially when you're not entirely sure what day you'll be able to get the things done. So we're going to take these small sticky notes and put them right over here, and we'll continue. And you can use as many of these as you need to. You could even put this fill this entire page with sticky notes. Once the notebook is closed, these will stick down a little bit better. As you can see, like with pulling them off, they got a little bit curled. I know that there is a trick to not have that happen, and I believe that that trick is like pulling it from the side. I don't know if it works as well with really tiny sticky notes or not, but we can kind of see how this will go. And then these have come off, so we'll use this green one right down here. If you don't need to move these around on the page, you could also use adhesive to put them down, and then you just have really clean lines with these boxes. So in here, we're going to list out the things that have to be done during the week, even if there's not necessarily a specific day to do them. So for me, this week, we are going to make dentist appointment, book flights. Where are we in August? Okay. Draft September budget, buy birthday gift, grocery shopping, finish tax prep, and one more thing on the list, sorry. And then the final thing on the list is make plans with Kay. A friend of mine just had a baby, and I wanted to give them some time before I went to the house to meet the baby, and so we're going to kind of put these. Now, the great thing is as I'm setting up my week, what I can do is figure out where I have time, and then we can put these down. Now, let's say I put it down on Monday, but by the end of Monday, I'm like, I just didn't have time to do that. I can put it back over here, or I can move it. And by the end of the week, the hope is that all of these have now been moved over. And this is a really great way to do a lot of the different tasks, especially when your week is busy and you're just not entirely sure when you'll be able to get things done. Now, another way that I'd love to be able to use these, this one's a little bit bigger, so I actually think that for this purpose, we are going to trim it. So I'm going to trim this, depends on what size you need, but I am going to trim this here. And we're going to take this, and this does have a tab, let's put this here. And I'm going to write groceries at the top. When I'm making a grocery list, I tend to make it as the week goes on. However, a lot of my groceries are things that I buy every single week. So examples of that would be milk, lettuce, especially with produce, tomatoes, eggs, chicken. So what I can do is add to this throughout the week as I run out of food or think of something that I want. And then the other great thing is that, first of all, this is such a good size. This is an 8.5 size that you can bring it to the grocery store with you. Or you could take this sticky note out and just kind of fold it up and put it in your wallet or your purse or wherever you need to, in a cash envelope, especially when you're going to the grocery store. The other benefit of this being sticky is that you can pass it from week to week. So as you're planning out next week, you can use this to kind of be your primary go-to list to be able to use from week to week. I'm going to continue to use sticky notes on the top here. Again, these sticky notes can be used to move from week to week and even to the left side of the day. So what we're going to put in here are routines. So we're going to write morning routine, and evening routine. And then I'll list out some things that I'd like my ideal morning and my ideal evening routine to be. So we're going to check finances. Every morning, I check my bank account and my credit cards to make sure that nothing processed that shouldn't have, that nothing overdrafted. I don't often have overdrafts because I'm so diligent about it, but it's something that I'm really adamant about checking every single day. So we're going to check finances. I'd like to make my morning routine exercise. It does not always happen. And then we're going to write dental, brushing my teeth, flossing, mouthwash, all of that, and update planners. Evening routine is clean sink, refill Keurig, like refilling the water in my coffee machine. We're also going to put dental in here. I journal every night, so we're going to do journal, and I'll write prep planners, which means prepping planners for the next day. And you can move these again from week to week. You can take them and move them right over here if you want an even closer view, and then be able to lift them up. One of the things that you can do if you're having a hard time getting into a habit is before the week begins, you can put your morning routine here. As you're working in your planner, you're like, okay, I did everything. Now, once it's done, it gets moved back over here. And that's the beauty of sticky notes, is being able to move things from side to side as you need to. The next thing that we're going to use these smaller sticky notes for, making sure that we can fit everything right in here. Now, of course, the more you move these, the more they're going to curl a little bit. But again, once the journal is closed, it'll give it an opportunity for these to kind of reset a little bit. But we will switch these over. And this is where I'm going to put in daily tasks. And some of these daily tasks for you may overlap with routines. You may prefer to just do daily tasks versus routines. And then we're going to write weekly tasks. So for me, daily tasks are clean desks, clean kitchen, put away clothes. Not always great about putting my clothes where they need to go every single time. Like if I'm changing in the morning, putting my pajamas in the laundry. I want to be a functional adult who puts everything where it needs to go all the time, but that doesn't always happen. And this isn't as much of a task. This is more of a routine, but I'd like to put reading on here. And then weekly tasks would be things that you don't do every day. This is going to vary based on your lifestyle. For me, I'm one person. I only need to do laundry once a week. I know that if many of you have children, you tend to do laundry more often, especially if there is a baby. So we do laundry, wash bedding, mop floors. Of course, if there's a spill or something, that becomes a daily task, but a regular deep clean and clean bathrooms. Okay, so this is kind of how I would use sticky notes in a planner like this to sort of be able to map out everything that I need to do in the week. If you don't want to do something like this with the groceries, you can continue with creating more of these small little headers as well. Now we are going to go in and kind of add some of my plans or to-dos over here. So we're going to write, I have a Zoom call at 8 p.m. on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we're going to write trash day. Friday is recycling day. Saturday is also trash day. I don't always take the trash out every single trash day because I have 2 a week, but this kind of gives me that opportunity. Monday is my favorite day because Monday is payday. Now to continue the plans for something that would be kind of like the whole day, I'm going to do probably a smaller line here because I don't want it to take up too much space. But Monday the 20th is my best friend's birthday. So we're gonna write Mel's birthday. And we could even do like a little balloon. I'm not great at drawing, but if you're a doodler, you can definitely include those. On the 23rd, we're gonna do a little box because I have a credit card bill due, and this way I can check it off. Okay. Now, this is kind of the week in terms of how to sort of prepare everything, because now we have all of this space in each of these. You could separate these, like on the left side, you could write plans, and on the right side, you could separate this and put in additional bullets of to-dos. So of course, like when it's payday for me, that's when I'll need to update my budget. It's also usually when I pay my bills for the week, but you could separate it out that way. You could make this whole thing bullet points. You could even use this as your weekly planning, and you can use this space to journal if you're looking for something that has just a little bit more of a journaling purpose for you. But there are so many different ways that you can use a dot grid journal like this, especially with sticky notes as well. So hopefully you found this video helpful. We really just wanted to show you some ideas about how you can incorporate these two together and different ways that you can set up your week for success. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it. You can pick up this planner and the sticky note set over at cleverfoxplanner.com. Please do make sure that you are subscribed to our channel and you have that notification bell turned on so that you get notified each time we post a new video. Thanks so much for spending time with me today, and we will see you next time.